Amy Duggar reveals husband Dillon King's medical diagnosis. After life-threatening hospital stay, he's finally feeling some relief. Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I hope you are well. Please subscribe the channel USA Dramatic Show and press the bell icon. Amy Duggar revealed her husband, Dillon King, is dealing with a medical issue after a life-threatening hospital stay. Update on Dillon's health journey. He's been diagnosed with celiac disease, Duggar shared on Instagram, and since changing his diet, he's finally feeling some relief. She added they are still working through the herniated diaphragm and the displacement of multiple organs. There's still a lot of unknowns this time, she concluded. We appreciate all the support and prayers. On April 3rd, Duggar worried fans when she posted a picture of King in a hospital bed, hooked up to tubes. "Happy birthday to my favorite person on the planet," she wrote. "Y'all, I adore this man. Dax has the best dad on the planet, and he's so loved by so many family and friends." Dillon's hospitalization. She acknowledged they'd normally be celebrating in a huge way, but were facing some possible life-threatening medical concerns. "Today, I'd like to ask for some prayers on his behalf," she noted. "I know God has him, but we welcome the prayers. I can't think of a better gift for him. Dillon, we can get through anything together." A few days after her post, she spoke to a media outlet regarding what was going on. "After continued pain and concerns that could no longer be ignored, we sought medical attention, only to receive news no one ever expects to hear," Duggar shared. Dillon has been diagnosed with a severe diaphragmatic rupture, an extremely rare and dangerous condition that has caused vital organs, including his kidney and parts of his digestive system, to shift into his chest cavity. While Duggar's been open about her husband's health ailments, she's also not held back her thoughts on her cousin Josh Duggar, who is currently incarcerated for receiving and possessing child pornography. In an interview in 2024, Amy shared something traumatic must have happened to Josh to make his brain even go near that situation. "I don't know what that traumatic event or events was," she elaborated. "I don't know what has happened to Josh. If you ask me, though, I think that something major has maybe happened to him. Obviously, very, very much so. I know that something's up, and something is very wrong." She said he should stay as long as he can in prison so he can't hurt children. "He can't view that disgustingness, and his kids hopefully are safe as well," she added. "I hope every day there is absolute torture for him. I really hope that, because what he watched and what he was viewing for his own fulfillment is those kids experiencing torture. He deserves every second in there, and I hope he gets a longer term. I hope he messes up again." Read more at OK. Get OK, as biggest scoops and scandals delivered right to your inbox. Sign up now. Follow OK on WhatsApp here. Stay across all the latest in celebrity, entertainment, and pop culture via our WhatsApp channel. No comments, no algorithm, and nobody can see your private details. Amy Duggar King announces bold debut memoir Holy Disruptor. Amy Duggar King, a cousin seen occasionally on TLC's 19 Kids and Counting On, has written a book that is touted to be bold. She called it Holy Disruptor, shattering the shiny facade while getting louder with the truth. Read on to find out more details. When will the book be released? The new book from the clan might give Jim Bob Duggar some sweaty moments, as it comes after Jill Dillard and Jinger Volo published their books. Her book is scheduled for release on October 14th, 2025. In an Instagram announcement shared by People, Amy described her book as her unfiltered testimony of breaking free, promising a narrative about escaping toxic environments, rejecting unrealistic expectations, and reclaiming her God-given voice. Apparently, the rebel in the clan will open a window into life behind the shiny smiles on reality TV, exposing the pressure to conform and be too much or not enough. It's not clear how many people will read it, though. Amy and her mom were very popular, and then they were not. That drop in popularity came when they denied knowing that Jim Bob sent Josh to a camp after the molestation of his sisters. Still, it might be worth a read. Why this memoir matters. Amy's voice has long been a disruptive force within the Duggar family. As the cousin who was often branded Crazy Cousin Amy, she resisted the family's conservative image and stayed vocal about the darker side of their upbringing, especially when it came to including the handling of Josh Duggar's CSAM trial. She appeared in Shiny Happy People, Duggar Family Secrets. Additionally, she repeatedly spoke about betrayal, gaslighting, and silence. What started as journaling to help herself heal, Amy Duggar's writing became a mission to empower others to disrupt fear. She wants folks to question unrealistic standards and embrace who they really are. As is common in books about Jim Bob's family, it takes a look at control. TLC fans took to the comments section on Instagram and had their say about the book. One follower praised her as the voice of so many who felt trapped by family rules, while another wrote, "Her honesty is freeing. We need more stories like this in the world." Other supporters noted how Amy has consistently stood up for herself, especially since her early reality TV days. Back then, she was often overshadowed by a scripted, happy Duggar image. Her friend and cousin, Jill Dillard, commented, "Love you, proud of you. You are brave, are a voice for many. I look forward to reading your story." Not everyone jumped for joy, though, as stories were circulating that her husband, Dillon King, owed a lot of money and faced a lawsuit. Amy Duggar's major career switch-up has Counting on fans saying the same thing. Counting on star Amy Duggar, Jim Bob Duggar's niece, who was not raised under the IBLP, is writing a tell-all memoir, and fans are saying the same thing. On Tuesday, June 17th, Amy, 38, announced the upcoming book, titled Holy Disruptor, Shattering the Shiny Facade, while getting louder with the truth. During an interview with People, the former TLC star explained the book will share her unfiltered testimony of breaking free. Even if you've been silenced, you can find your God-given voice. A description of the memoir reads, "Overbearing leadership, toxic environments, unfair standards, and unrealistic expectations. There are many ways that people abuse, manipulate, and silence others. The worst part is the abuser is often someone you love." It continued, "Amy Duggar King knows what it's like to be coerced and have her voice silenced. On TLC's hit reality show, 19 Kids and Counting, Amy was branded Crazy Cousin Amy, an identity she didn't choose but was forced to live into." Additionally, the description claimed, her authentic voice was taken from her as she was told to put on a shiny, happy smile for the camera. The gaslighting continued as she was told off-camera, "You're too much, and you're not enough." Amy's cousin, Jill Duggar Dillard, wrote, "Love you, proud of you. You are brave, are a voice for many. I look forward to reading your story." Jill released her own memoir, Counting the Cost, in 2023. Another Instagram user declared, "About time for Cousin Amy. I am so ready for this." Someone else echoed, "Yes, we have been waiting for this." A different fan shared, "Congratulations! Amy was always the honest cousin." As a second commented, "Go, Amy! Praying for you as you launch this book." Life for the Duggar family has changed drastically since 19 Kids and Counting, then titled 17 Kids and Counting, first premiered on TLC back in 2008. For one, there have been numerous Duggar controversies that fans will never forget. Most notably, in 2022, eldest Duggar child Josh Duggar was sentenced to nearly 13 years in prison after being found guilty of 2 charges of receiving and possessing child pornography. Following the verdict, Josh's cousin, Amy Duggar King, became one of his most outspoken critics. "I hope every day there is absolute torture for him," she told People. "He deserves every second in there, and I hope he gets a longer term." King, who is the only child of Jim Bob Duggar's sister, Deanna Duggar, and her husband, Terry Jordan, has always been an outsider in her family. While appearing on the reality TV show that made the Duggars famous, King was often singled out for following different rules. Even so, she managed to stay true to herself and has gone on to build a life that makes her happy, if not her strict relatives. That being said, it hasn't always been easy or perfect. Here's what Amy Duggar King's life is like today, from the ups to the downs. Amy Duggar became Amy Duggar King in September 2015 when the 28-year-old said, "I do," to Dillon King in front of 400 guests at Arkansas's Horton Farms. 3 years later, the couple was ready to grow their family, with Amy cheekily telling Us Weekly in 2018, "We're practicing, we're not preventing." Their efforts soon paid off, and Amy confirmed on Easter Sunday in April 2019 that she was expecting. "Baby King is on the way," she wrote excitedly on Instagram. Keeping fans in the loop on her pregnancy journey, their reality star revealed their chosen baby name that July, Daxton Ryan. Recounting how they arrived at said moniker, Dillon told people that all the men on his side of the family have a name that starts with the letter D. As for the middle name, Amy enthused, "Ryan stands for Little King, it's adorable." Daxton was born on October 9, 2019, via C-section. Amy shared additional details about that decision with fans on Instagram, admitting she was nervous to go in for surgery, but noting she had little choice. "With my small frame and the fact that the doctor said there's an 85% chance I'd have an emergency situation, we went ahead and scheduled a cesarean," she explained. Despite her worries, the procedure was successful, and Amy immediately embraced motherhood. "My heart skips a beat every time he wraps his hand around my finger," she gushed on Instagram while celebrating her son's first birthday. As the only child of Jim Bob Duggar's sister, Deanna Duggar, Amy Duggar King often appeared on 19 Kids and Counting. However, she was most often portrayed as the black sheep of the family because she didn't follow the same strict rules as her uncle's kids. Indeed, King herself recognized she was an outsider, once confessing on TV, per Us Weekly, "I hate being a rebel Duggar." Even so, rather than allowing herself to be molded to her extended family's expectations, she pushed them away. Speaking with ET in 2020, King said she wished them the best, but that's where their relationship ended. "I'm doing things differently, and I'm happy where I'm at," she proclaimed. "I have freedom, and it is wonderful." She shared a similar sentiment on Instagram with a not-so-cryptic post that proclaimed, "It's okay to cut off toxic family for your own well-being." Indeed, King has been super vocal about her family's wrongdoings, and time hasn't softened her stance. In fact, she made the decision to keep her young son away from much of her family. "I don't know if he's ever really going to get to know them, which I hate to say," she told ET Canada, via People, in 2023. Speaking of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar specifically, she slammed them for covering up Josh's Duggar's sexual abuse confession. "I feel like that trust is completely broken," she fumed. "If you're not going to protect your kids or your children back in the day, I'm going to protect mine." Despite being estranged from most of her family, Amy Duggar King has maintained a close bond with one of her cousins, former Counting On star Jill Dillard, nee Duggar. As she told ET in 2020, "Jill and I text, not on a daily basis, but we text quite often, and we discuss things." Indeed, the duo appeared to have a lot in common. For one, Jill also distanced herself from the Duggar clan, telling fans on Instagram in 2024, via Newsweek, that she had been estranged from her parents for years. Although she did share, "I feel like we are in a rebuilding phase now, with healthy boundaries still in place." Even so, she had no qualms about joining Amy to share their truth in the Prime Video docuseries, Shiny Happy People, Duggar Family Secrets. However, the strength of their union was really put on display in April 2024. Just days after Jill and her husband, Derek Dillard, revealed they had a stillborn birth, Amy was seen stepping up to help and offer her cousin support. Taking to Instagram, Amy shared a snap of her son alongside Jill's 3 boys, seemingly taking care of them to give Jill and Derek time to themselves. "I got some fun boys today," Amy captioned the photo. per Monster's critics. Of all the Duggar family members who are active on social media, Amy Duggar King is one of the most prolific. Indeed, her life is an open book, and so, when her husband was faced with a scary medical emergency in April 2025, she took to Instagram to let fans know. Posting a snap of Dillon King hooked up to an IV inside a doctor's office, she wrote, "We are facing some possible life-threatening medical concerns." Days later, she shared further details with People, revealing that Dillon was diagnosed with a severe diaphragmatic rupture. As she explained, it's an extremely rare and dangerous condition that has caused vital organs, including his kidney and parts of his digestive system, to shift into his chest cavity. According to Amy, doctors had found a tear in his diaphragm that was almost 4 inches and were honest about the fact that recovery was not guaranteed. "The risks are high, the procedures complex," she said. "We are taking this one moment at a time, clinging to hope, prayer, and the wisdom of the medical teams who are now walking this road with us." According to the National Library of Medicine, diaphragmatic injuries are not really common and usually appear in under 1% of patients who have suffered some sort of traumatic injury. Most often, said injuries are stab and gunshot wounds, although a diaphragmatic rupture can also happen following a serious car crash or fall. It is unclear what caused Dillon's particular injury. Shortly after sharing details of Dillon King's health diagnosis, Amy Duggar King was accused of trying to profit off her husband's illness. "You asked for privacy but gave a People magazine interview," went one snarky Instagram comment. Well, Amy wasn't having it and took to stories to set the record straight. "It is so sad to me how people think that I could stoop so low," she slammed, via Us Weekly. "To think that, like, if you click on the link to read what Dillon's diagnosis is, that I get paid." Amy was adamant that she didn't earn anything from her interview and underscored the fact that all she wanted was support for Dillon. "It's just a story that People magazine put out, and I am grateful for that," she reasoned, "because there's a lot of people who read that will pray for him, that will lift him up." It wasn't the first time that Amy directly responded to critics. In October 2020, just days after her son celebrated his first birthday, Amy took to Instagram to share a DM she received, telling her to have more kids. "Pick up the pace, you should have been pregnant again like yesterday," the message read. Listing the various health struggles she experienced during her pregnancy, Amy also noted that she was an only child, but that, most importantly, no one should judge another's body. "Some women are designed not to have large families. I am one of them," she concluded. Amy Duggar King often broke the Duggar family's strict rules, which soon landed her the nickname Crazy Cousin Amy on 19 Kids and Counting. It may have appeared all in good fun at the time, but that label actually cut deep. Speaking with People in 2024, King admitted she was dubbed the OG Black Sheep Duggar because of what she wore and how she acted, and given her young age, she bought into it. "I believed what I was told," she told the mag. "You're like, well, I guess I am a bad seed." That, in turn, led to low self-confidence and mounting insecurities, until one day, her faith helped her realize that she wasn't actually a bad person. "It's really sad that I believed it about myself," she mused, but noted that her family likely didn't know any better. "I feel like they did not know how to handle someone that wasn't like them. They had to have a villain," she said. Once she found her confidence, King didn't let go. Just 4 months after giving birth, she put her self-love on full display with a motivational Instagram post. Showing off her post-baby tummy, she encouraged new moms to embrace and be proud of their new figure, even if it didn't look like a model's. "Your body is powerful and made you a mother," she praised. "Forget society's standards on what is beautiful." The King family ventured into hospitality in 2020 when Dillon King opened his own establishment called Wellington's. Blending a restaurant, cigar lounge, and poker room, it was a diverse offering that initially called Springdale, Arkansas, home before moving to Rogers in 2023. Despite mostly solid reviews, Wellington's eventually closed its doors for good following mounting legal drama. In January 2025, the U.S. Sun learned that King and his business partners had been sued by their Rogers landlord over $86,683.30 in unpaid rent. According to the outlet, King eventually reached an agreement with the landlord and was due to pay $50,000. As he only made half that, he was found to be in breach of contract, and a court ordered him to pay $236,728.08, minus the $25,000 he had already forked over, as per the terms of his settlement. While King fought the judgment, he was simultaneously embroiled in another lawsuit over the original Springdale location. While Wellington's moved to Rogers in July 2023, the lease on the first property didn't run out until December 2023. The landlord sued for unpaid rent, then changed their claim to include alleged damages and alterations. Ultimately, King was ordered to pay another $156,909.96 per the U.S. Sun. Following in the footsteps of her friend and cousin, Duggar, Amy Duggar King decided to write her own book. The topic first came up in 2023 when fans asked King if she ever planned to pen a memoir. "I've been contacted by publishing companies, so I just need to see if it's
বন্ধুরা আজকের ইনকাম সাইটটিতে আপনারা প্রতিদিন
the right fit," she teased. Per the U.S. Sun, "I do believe my story could help so many people, so many conversations and situations to be told." When some critics clapped back, noting King shouldn't get a book deal because she wasn't part of the core Duggar family, she quickly put them in their place. "Although I didn't live at the big house, I grew up all around it," she argued. "It would be a juicy one." Ultimately, Christian publisher Zondervan agreed, and a listing for King's book showed up on Amazon in early 2025. Titled Holy Disruptor: Shattering the Shiny Facade by Getting Louder with the Truth, it had an October 2025 release date and promised to tell how King distanced herself from the Duggar family to live the life she wanted. According to the official synopsis, her decision made her a so-called holy disruptor, and the book planned to help guide